We're going to continue with solving multi-step equations. In this video, we're going to do examples that have fractions. So anytime there's a fraction, you're going to want to clear the fractions using a common denominator. Now, remember to always distribute first, because sometimes when you distribute, your fractions disappear and you don't have to worry about them. So let's look at example 1. In example 1, we have parentheses, so we're going to distribute the 2/3. So 2/3 times 12 means you're doing 2 times 12, or 24, divided by 3. So that gives me 8x. Then 2/3 times negative 18 means we're doing 2 times negative 18, which is negative 36. And if we divide by 3, we get negative 12. So you'll notice by distributing, our fractions disappeared. Here, both sides are already simplified, so we can already look at our variables. On the left, we have 8x. On the right, we have 12x. We need to undo one of those. I'm going to undo the smaller one, which is 8. So the opposite of 8x would be minus or negative 8x. And what you do to one side, you do to another. So I'm left with negative 12 equals negative 24. 12 minus 8 is positive 4x. So here the x is stuck to the 4. That means I need to get rid of that negative 24. So the opposite would be to do positive or plus 24. Negative 12 plus 24 is 12. So I get 12 equals 4x. And here at the very end, they're multiplying 4 times x. The opposite would be to divide 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the answer for x is 3. If we look at the next example, we can start distributing because we have parentheses. So I'm going to distribute the 3/5 to the 20x. 3 times 20 is 60, divided by 5 is 12. So that becomes 12x. And then 3/5 times 10. 3 times 10 is 30, divided by 5 is 6. Next, I'm going to distribute the negative 2/3. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12, divided by 3 is negative 4. So that's a negative 4x. And now negative 2/3 times negative 9. Negative 2 times negative 9 is positive 18. If you divide that by 3, you get positive 6. This problem has a lot of terms, so we're going to need to simplify or make smaller on each side. So if you look at your left side, I can combine 12x minus 4x to get 8x. And 6 plus 6 to get 12. On the other side, we can combine 12x plus 6x to get 18x. And negative 3 and negative 9 is negative 12. So I made my side smaller. Now I can see I have variables on both sides. I'm going to get rid of the smaller one. So 8 is smaller than 18, so I'm going to do negative or minus 8x. Here, my 10 is stuck to my x, so I need to undo the minus 12 first. So I'm going to do plus 12 to both sides. So I get 24 equals 10x. They're multiplying 10 by x. The opposite would be to divide 10. 24/10, we can simplify it. So our answer is 24 over 10. If you divide by 2, that becomes 12/5. So our answer for x is 12 over 5. And you can leave your answer as a fraction or change it to a decimal. I usually leave them as fractions. Here on number 3, there's no parentheses, so we can't distribute. So we're going to do something different. We're going to clear the fractions on the first step so that we don't have to worry about fractions anymore. The way you do that is you multiply everything by common denominator. So here the denominator is 3, and here the denominator is 9. So we want a common denominator of 3 and 9. So if we take multiples of 3 and multiples of 9, we want to find the smallest one that they have in common. So 3 can become 6. If you add 3 more, it becomes 9. So a common denominator for 3 and 9 would be 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 9. So everything on both sides by 9. So I'm going to start with 9 times 2/3 x. 9 times 2 is 18, divided by 3 is 6. So that's 6x. 9 times -8 is -72. Then 9 times 5/9. 9 times 5 is 45, divided by 9 is 5. So that becomes 5x. And 9 times -7 is -63. So by multiplying the 9, we got rid of fractions for the whole problem. Now if I look at my variables, here I have a 6x, here I have a 5x. 5 is smaller, so I'm going to undo the 5x. Six x minus 5x is 1x. So I get 1x minus 72 is -63. Now I can look at my variable. So right now x is stuck to 1. So I need to undo the minus 72. So I'm going to add 72 to both sides. And I'm left with 1x equals positive 9. And then right now they're multiplying 1 times x. If you divide by 1, you get x equal to 9. Let's go ahead and look at the last problem. So my last problem here, number 4. This one doesn't have to distribute because there's no parentheses. So I'm going to find a common denominator. Right now the denominators are 9, 3, and 2. So I need to find a common denominator of 9, 3, and 2. So down here, if I do a 9, a 3, and a 2, I want to see what's the smallest number that all of them can multiply into. Right away, 2 can't go into 9, so I cannot use 9. So the next number that 9 can become is 18 if we add 9 more. 2 can go into 18 and so can 3. So 18 is going to be our common denominator. So I'm going to multiply everything here by 18. So 18 times x over 9, I can put an imaginary 1. Becomes 18 divided by 9, or 2x. 18 times 4/3 would be 18 times 4, or 72. And if we divide that by 3, we get 24. Then 18 times 1/2, x would be 9x. And 18 times -1 is -18. So we multiplied everything by 18, and that got rid of our fractions. Now I have 2x on the left, 9x on the right. I like to get rid of the smaller one. So I'm going to take minus 2x from both sides. And I'm left with 24 equals 7x minus 18. Now the x is stuck to the 7. So I have to get rid of the minus 18 first. And I would do that by doing plus 18 to both sides. 24 plus 18 is 42. So we have 42 equals 7x. And the opposite of multiplying 7 would be to divide by 7. So our answer for x is going to be 6, because 42 divided by 7 is 6.